I want to talk about unemployment. And I have a big fear, folks. I have a really big fear about the unemployment number. I have a big fear that the economy rebounds, but the underlying inequities in the economy remain. Now, I know you might say, Clayton, come on. That's not going to happen. The economy is going to rebound. And all of those people that lost their jobs, their permanent job loss, the 30 million Americans, those low-income workers that are now permanently out of the labor force, they're going to be fine because now we're going to build a just system that's going to help all of those people, right? Joe Biden's going to get elected and he's going to help the little guy. Come on. Do you believe that for a second? I don't.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry, Joe. But the two-party system, Republicans and Democrats, bought and sold by corporate elites, they're run by Wall Street. My big fear in all of this is that we are no better off than where we were, back in February, January, March. We're going to be in the same position. That's my big fear. That the economy rebounds, it's going to be the tale of two economies, and all of those other people that have lost jobs are going to be permanently left behind. I mean, just look at the headlines today. Look at the headlines today on Wall Street. According to Wall Street, this recession is over, folks. This is over. That's right. Look at the Seattle Times. Front page story today. Pandemic scrambles the local job market. Despite deep unemployment, some employers still can't hire fast enough. You know who they're hiring? Those people in this story? They're hiring highly skilled workers. And the stories from Maine to Connecticut to Florida, all in between. As businesses scramble to hire, who are they hiring? Highly skilled workers. Those people that will demand a much higher salary, and the people that don't, the low-income workers, lower skilled workers, millennials, those who have not had a lot of experience in the labor force, are left holding the bag. They're left standing out in the rain. Pick another metaphor. But we are not bounced back, and we now have these jobless benefits that continue to decline. So look at the latest numbers this morning on this jobless front. Look where we were as these jobless benefits from the Treasury Department and where they were being handed out. May, of course, we saw a huge spike at the end of April and into May. But now look at these jobless benefits, which are drying up because the stimulus has all but dried up. We don't have these unemployment benefits anymore. We don't have Paycheck Protection Program pieces anymore. Those have dried up as well. And on top of that now, we have massive furloughs, which are about to happen. United Airlines, American Airlines held emergency phone calls this weekend with Congress because they are about to, they had warned them months ago that we need additional stimulus, additional bailout money beyond the billions you already gave us, or we're going to have to furlough upwards of, for American Airlines, 19,000 workers permanently. You can might as well call them permanent. 36,000 over at Southwest Airlines. 36,000 people who work for the airlines. And these aren't pilots, mostly. I mean, these are the people that handle baggage. It's the low-income workers who are going to be hit the hardest. 19,000 jobs at American Airlines. Flight attendants. I mean, the list goes on and on. But guess what? Who's happy about it? Wall Street. Because Wall Street says, guess what? This recession is over. It's the tale of two economies once again, folks. And, you're not going to see this talked about in mainstream media. You're not. Remember, MSNBC, CNBC, CNN, Fox News, they're all run by big corporations. They're all run by billionaires, millionaires. They're not going to talk about this K-shaped recovery much. You're not going to hear much about it. You'll hear about it in passing, but you're not going to hear much about it. You're not going to hear much about the 30 million people who are unemployed and are permanently now out of the job market. The inequities in this economy are growing. It's only getting worse. So when you hear politicians and you hear Larry Kudlow and other people on the White House lawn telling you how this economy is resilient, President Trump's your guy, this thing's bounced back. It's a lie. It's only reflecting half of the story. It only reflects the top of the K. The bottom part of that K are the people that are being left behind. The people who are permanently unemployed. So my great fear in all of this, folks, is that the economy rebounds, but these underlying inequities remain. And unless we get a stimulus passed that helps those people get back to work, pass some sort, look, I'm all for creating higher paying jobs where we could take some of those low income workers who are working in other energy sectors, other parts of the economy, and make these jobs available as part of this Green New Deal. Employ millions of Americans at higher wages, green energy jobs, putting people back to work. Naomi Klein has a great new book. I encourage all of you to read it, called Fire. And she talks about the Green New Deal at length. And she wants to make sure that people understand that a Green New Deal is not like what FDR did during World War II or before World War II, because there were so many inequalities in that system. So this is not like that at all. But it would have to be on the scale of that, is what she uses it as a reference. Creating green energy jobs that help the economy, but also bring higher employment, higher wages. Help getting us off of fracking, getting us off of dependency on foreign oil. Put people back to work. And I'm afraid that these people are going to be left behind in a bigger way than we've ever seen possible. And my bigger fear, if I'm telling the truth here, my biggest fear is that Joe Biden gets elected and he does nothing for these people. There's no talk of universal health care. Who those people, how are they going to get health care? If they're out of a job, they have no health care. There's no universal health care being talked about by either party. Joe Biden gets elected, and there's no plan in place for passing any form of extended unemployment. There's no big infrastructure plan that's going to put these people back to work. We're talking about outdated old ideas that are just bought and sold by corporate elites. Benefits Wall Street once again. I mean, you see the people that Joe Biden's surrounding himself right now with on his foreign policy team. There's outrage among progressives about it. We're going to continue our dependency on foreign oil. Joe Biden last week said, no, I'm not going to get rid of fracking yet. No, really? We're going to continue to increase our military budget. We're going to continue to spend money there. But we're not going to put money towards schools, employment programs, public education. Think about it. If someone who's lost their job has an opportunity to become one of these highly skilled workers through free public education, free public college, has health care in place, can become a useful member of society. Instead, they're out of work, at home, have no job, and the only job they might be able to get is a low-income job with no health benefits, and it's a perpetual cycle. So, folks, when you hear this story, when you see headlines like this, I was laughing. I mean, the story is interesting because Felix Salmon's writing here. He's saying that this is what Wall Street is saying, that the recession is over. But he's making the point in the article that, unemployment is still massively high, but Wall Street is rewarding this unemployment. As I'm reading the chat right now, Duwa PLV says homelessness in Florida keeps rising. Lazy Eye, I'm not talking about public education for elementary school and high school. I'm talking about public college. Why are our kids who want to become social workers or teachers saddled with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in debt? You go to Europe, go to other countries where they have better universities than the United States, by a landslide, by the way, by a landslide, and it's free. Look at Denmark, look at Norway. Yes, they pay more in taxes, but guess what? They have a better quality of life. And people don't leave. Young people in Norway, the reason it's so competitive there is they don't leave. People in Norway, the young kids, they go to university and yes, they stay there, even though it's freezing. Okay. By the way, I want to visit Norway someday. I've always dreamed of it. To watch that system in place. It's incredibly competitive. Wages are high. The people stay. They go to free public college in Norway and they stay in the country. Same thing is true in Denmark. Same thing is true in the Netherlands. Same thing is true in Portugal and other countries throughout Europe. Free public college. And a health system that provides. We can be ignorant Americans and throw around right-wing talking points that people get from watching, right-wing television shows and without any basis in fact. Get some blowhard on one of these right-wing talk shows to just blow a lot of smoke about how you want to live in a socialist country? Yeah, that's not what it is. If you understand it, you know that that's not true. That's just a straw man tactic. Throw around that word and it scares people. Oh yeah, but is our system working for us right now? Is 30 million people without health care and unemployed working for us right now with a military budget that just increased by 20%? And oh, by the way, President Trump says he wants to increase it again. He was just speaking this weekend. He wants to increase it by another $1 trillion over a number of years. Really? So we can continue to go to foreign wars and blow up people and have people back home in the United States with no health care and no education, saddled with massive student loans. That our system is working for us. Look around. It's working for some people. It's working for the wealthiest of us. But it's not working for the rest of us. Let me know in the chat your thoughts about this. Please smash that like button if you like this video. Smash it. Take out your anger on that like button. And subscribe to our channel if you're not already a subscriber. This is the only financial show I believe talks about these progressive ideas, talks about the inequities in our economy, talks about, understanding wealth from the 99% of us, not the 1%. If you want lies from the mainstream media, you can watch that all day. You're not going to get that here. I'm not bought and sold by big corporations. I'll tell you my feelings on it because, I have a conscience. Okay. That's how I feel about it. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur, but I believe in the inequities in our system have gone on for long enough and they need to change.